It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read. It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Chris Kay.
This is It's Movie Time. It's summertime, Chris. I think it's
Indeed.
time to go to Mexico and go scuba diving. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait.
47 meters down is appearing today in the theaters.
Yep.
Is that encouraging?
Yeah, sure. It's fun.
A couple of ladies,
Mhm.
young ladies, decide to go into a shark cage.
Yes. Convinced by their, very handsome
Yeah,
Mexican.
local boys.
Mhm.
And, I mean, after all, I have a lot of confidence. Matthew Modine is the captain of that club.
Yeah. I do love him, but it was just a funny, I don't know, it was a little bit comedic when he popped into it.
Oh, I agree. He plays a benign captain when usually in these movies
Right.
he's just as scuzzy as his boat.
He seemed a little bit, I couldn't decide. His character kind of bothered me because I couldn't decide if he was sinister or just,
I know.
a dunce or what. He was kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
very, very neutral.
My take was that he was a good guy pulling a shady deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
trying
they're not sanctioned.
to earn a few bucks. You don't think?
Right. I don't think even the Mexican authorities
Yeah.
would pass them.
Yeah.
Well, there's some decent character development
Mhm.
in the beginning.
Yeah. I thought the beginning was pretty good, kind of the backstory, and it was different from, your typical summer fun beach going, bikini wearing,
Yeah, I know. To remind me, don't go to see this movie if you want to see bikinis. See Shallows with Blake Lively. This one is chaste, I think, by comparison, which
Indeed, yeah.
I kind of liked.
Oh yeah, me too. It made it more about the story, which maybe then it was to its detriment.
Oh, no. And I think it's a usual horror trope that one of the girls is just getting off of a relationship.
Right.
She's depressed, and so she's more easily seduced into this outrageous adventure.
Well, the funny thing is, I thought, actually, in that way, before the trope, she was the one that was reluctant.
Yes.
It was her sister that's like, come on,
Yes.
you gotta go, and making out with the boys and all that.
That's right, yeah.
She was kind of like, I don't know.
Thank you, yes. I guess the way it eventuates is that she's going to show up her boyfriend, that she's not boring
Right.
by taking this
She
assignment.
she got dumped, so that was her motivation to go into the Shark Tank. To take photos, which was funny because neither of them brought a camera. I'm like, what are you gonna
Well,
selfie with your phone?
They did have that little one they lost immediately.
Yeah, well,
which,
one of
course,
the boys had one.
right,
I think they got out in the middle of the ocean. They were like, oh, we don't have a camera.
right.
Somebody needs to have a camera.
Good one. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't even concentrating on it because the big deal here is the shark.
Right.
And if you want to take Jaws and say, no, this is not a classic like Jaws, for me it has that Spielberg distance.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that much of sharks here.
No, that's the one thing I actually really loved about the movie. I thought it was filmed well, and I did like kind of the lack of the shark.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. They did I like too. In the beginning they played up the very typical ways that you build suspense in a film like that. And they were just in the pool, and it was just kind of fun.
This is apparently shot in a huge new tank in it's in the Dominican Republic or somewhere. And I thought, to me, a sense of realism.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. And and back to your point about the shark, which everybody's going to be interested in, or the sharks. There are two very sizable.
Sometimes more. At the beginning,
Okay. Yeah.
Near the end, there were several.
Yeah. Sizable sharks. The CGI in that is really.
It was well done. I mean, in that respect, I thought the cinematography and the animation and all that was, again, heads above, you know, typical
Oh yeah,
Anaconda or whatever else you might.
because you're a filmmaker and you appreciate this as much certainly as I do. Ridley Scott said in his recent Alien Covenant
Mm-hmm.
that he couldn't tell the difference between the green screen shots and the real ones.
Wow.
And I remember Avatar's James
Cameron?
Cameron
Yeah.
being confronted with a challenge,
Oh, yeah.
and that he couldn't tell you which was. See,
That's amazing.
this stuff is
It's
so
getting really, really good. It's very impressive.
I know.
I mean, even the amount of things that they shoot, you know, and just put in buildings in the background.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's
It-
fantastic.
yeah.
But the sharks in this were really well done.
Yeah, they were. And I mean, the problem here is, although you've got a crew up there, and you got the ladies down here, is that the winch, which is shown to be somewhat unstable, breaks.
Yeah, They didn't have their inspection recent enough or something.
Right. So they're down 154 feet,
Right.
47 meters. I think even my watch says it won't work.
I know. That's a good ways down.
um,
And of course, one of the girls doesn't know how to scuba dive.
right.
So it's the girl that got dumped. She doesn't, Mandy, you know, she doesn't know
Yeah.
how to
Mandy Moore.
scuba dive. So
Right.
that adds at least some initial suspense.
And some unbelievability.
Yeah, because in the end, you know, she's down 47 meters down and somehow switches her air tank as she's out. She's been out now for a little while.
Yes.
I don't,
And, you
I
know,
don't know.
and that's why I love Modine's response to her when he asked her if she knew how to. And he really didn't believe that she knew how to scuba dive. But oh well.
Yeah.
They went on with it. Chris, what are the incidents here that you might find? I guess what I'm getting around to saying, did you strike you that there were very few incidents?
You mean with the sharks or
Just
you know?
down there.
Yeah. Incidents? What do you mean? Like?
Well, yeah, I don't know what I mean. I guess those moments, those shocking moments that you might get in a horror film, I just didn't find that many here.
Yeah, you know, I think the incidents that were, I thought this sort of sparse use of those incidents was actually kind of refreshing. The thing that
Yes.
I didn't find beautiful was I thought the dialogue was just generally way too on the nose, and they did a lot of the say don't show, you know, kind of backwards from what you would normally kind of push
Right,
for, and
right.
so, you know, they'd say, "Oh no, my air is running
Yes!
out," you know, as she's swimming across apparently this cavern. You know, she gets out on the ledge and there's a black cavern, and she's swimming. The girl that can't scuba
Yeah.
is swimming across a black cavern, and I don't know, just throughout that entire part, I thought it just lacked, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
So it didn't have the typical kind of horror moments or
Right.
you know, suspenseful things.
Uh,
But then I thought that it didn't play to the lack
Yeah.
of those by letting them just live and build, you know, some tension. So.
and not a plethora of jump scares. I mean, they have them, but very few compared with other films.
Right.
And yeah, that dialogue, it seemed when they're down there and they're just kind of relaxing, I don't know what to say, girly, if that's proper,
Yeah.
or even characteristic, but they're chatting, and
Yeah.
it's again about boys, and so I mean, this
And
is,
again, you're down 47 meters trapped in a cage with 28-foot sharks. I just don't think they'd be quite so calm, you know?
I agree. I don't know if that's purposeful to lighten this whole thing or
Maybe,
what.
maybe,
So, for me, the tension, which is always essential here, is by those little things. And beside the dialogue you're talking about, you have just the hackneyed trope of the digital readout.
Right. Oh, yeah. Way overplayed that one.
You remember in a
Yeah.
bad heist film, you'll have it.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing
And
the numbers, which are always big. And
Always
those-
big. And they always go back farther than you know. 28 minutes left.
Right. But
10 minutes go by, 27 minutes.
for those of us who have, and I've done one hotel dive, done a lot of snorkeling, but one hotel dive, there is about this a sense of realism that is about the multiple dangers, which are not just sharks.
Yeah, yeah.
Breathing
Yeah.
too heavily.
Getting the bends.
Getting the bends.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very important. Or at least to me, one of the things that looms over them is that to get to the surface, they can't go fast. They have
Right.
to stop for 5 minutes.
Decompress.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, to decompress.
Let
or whatever.
the nitrogen out of your blood or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that was fantastic. And actually, the one thing that they brought out with that I thought was going to save it, this might be a spoiler, but I thought, you know, all the sort of on the nose, not campy in the traditional way, but just, I don't know, weird kind of dialogue and banter in the bottom and all that, I thought was going to be, when we were approaching the ending, I thought this might have actually been brilliant. Can we give it away?
Probably not. Can you
Yeah.
get around it somehow?
Anyway, no.
There is a trick ending.
Yeah, I won't say anymore.
Right, but there
But
is.
then I thought it was a better trick than it ended up being.
Oh,
It
okay.
It ended up ending too neatly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, as I was searching for an image, I noticed that there was a line in Google about 47 meters down ending.
Ah.
And so I
Mhm.
want to go back to that
Yeah.
because I had to turn to you and say, now, Chris, did this happen or did that happen?
Yeah.
Because they're very careful not to be clear.
Yeah.
And in fact, the the attacks by the sharks, could be a pretty bloody business, and I don't think they play on that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was the one part that I thought. Again. Yeah. I don't know how to talk about that.
I know,
without
I know.
giving it away. But you know, it kind of a little bit of an eye roll there. You know.
Yeah. And how about when they're in the swimming pool you mentioned at the beginning,
Yeah.
when they spill the red drink?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. The beginning was brilliant. I love that. That was cool.
It goes all over the pool.
Mhm.
And I'm saying, But we know this when we go into it.
We do. That's why we go.
And that's
We're not-
exactly why we go. So this is a little bit of a different horror film. I think a relaxed, so to speak, way of enjoying your summer with something that is not as trite as it might be.
Yeah. A little bit of a warning, maybe, to not go scuba diving.
Boy,
At least.
you know, what I thought, Chris,
Yeah, I've never gone, but
I thought if you were thinking of going scuba diving, let's watch this film first.
yeah.
It will give you a serious respect for what you're about to do, because I think people might not have it. This one, to the amount of oxygen, to the danger of sharks,
Mhm.
to the bends, to all of that stuff, I think is real. And of course, and one of the things I love is they don't have fins, the girls.
No fins.
I mean,
Or suits or anything.
how do you get?
Oh, no,
up?
they did have suits. I have to say, that was the one funny thing I found. Like, the boat is so horrible. The cage is rusty, and they have a winch that breaks. But their gear looked pretty nice.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. I just wondered how they could get to the surface with all that and no fins. How do you
I
get
don't
up?
know.
I don't
You
know.
swim-
Well,
you
you know,
float
here,
around.
this is terrible. For a film that has a real, a sense of realism, we're picking away.
Oh, we are way picking on it. Yeah.
Right. Christopher K. The film is 47 meters down. What grade would you award it?
Man, I wish we need to start breaking these into categories.
I know you would. You never liked this
I
moment.
know. Overall, I'd probably give it a C, just because I thought it had great potential, and the storyline and the dialogue just kind of tanked it for me.
Great. Okay, I'm so glad to hear
Or
that.
sunk it.
Because I'm, in my naivety, I'm going to award it a B+. Because it still scared the bejesus out of me.